Hey guys, welcome back to another Tech2Elevate webinar. We're really glad that you could come back and see another webinar, whether you're live or watching it. If you're watching the recording we have up on YouTube, that's great. If you're watching live, you can always come back, watch the YouTube recording, check out some of our other past webinars, and we'll be continuing doing webinars at this time on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. So definitely check our website, www.tech2elevate with the number 2. I'll put that in the chat. And you can find there www.techelevate.org/webinar-register. That's where you can register for our webinars. So we're excited to have you all here today. I'll be your host today. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to drop those in the chat. And I'll get those to our main presenter, Tim. Tim's a great addition to the Tech2Elevate team. He's joining as an ACC member. He's serving both the Tech2Elevate and Keystone Internet Coalition, so we're really glad to have Tim. He's been a great addition to the team, again, serving through the American Connection Corps and AmeriCorps, and so he's got this great presentation for you guys today that, again, if you miss it or if there's anything you want to go back to, definitely head back to our YouTube. But Tim, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Benj, for the introduction. Today I will be giving a presentation on powering your job search with Google Tools, thanks to this great presentation by Grow with Google. So we'll get started. The agenda for this presentation is going to start with tracking your job search in Google Sheets. Then we're going to talk about finding opportunities with Google Search, making resumes with Google Docs, and preparing to give strong interviews with Google Meets, as well as some other resources that Grow with Google offers for professional development. So really just going over a handful of the tools and applications that Google has to offer and how they can help us in our search for a job. So starting off, we're going to talk about tracking the job search in Google Sheets. To do any of this, we're going to have to sign into a Google account first. Really simple. Just give them your email, your password. If you don't have a Google account, it's fine. Free to sign up, no charge. You're just going to go to the bottom left here where it says create account in the blue text. Click on that. Come up with an email, come up with a password, and you will be all set to go with a Gmail and a Google account. So once we do that, it'll take us to the main Google search engine page. I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Just the logo, the search bar down here, but we're going to go up to the top right, to the left of our little account initial avatar, where there's a 3x3 grid of squares. If we click on that, it'll give us this drop-down menu here, where it shows us all the Google tools and applications at our disposal. To start off, we're going to click on Google Drive, which is highlighted with this green circle, the little triangle icon. So once we go to Google Drive, it'll bring us to our drive, which is just the place that where all our Google documents, Google spreadsheets, Google presentations, slideshows, and Google Forms are stored. Once we're here, it's covered up by the drop-down, but in the top left, there is a Create New button. If we click on that, it'll give us this drop-down. We're going to go down to Google Sheets for now, the green square icon to the left of it. Hover over that and create a blank spreadsheet and rename it. In this example, they named it My Job Search, but you can always go to that top left title, double click on it, and rename it whatever you want. So this is what Google Sheets looks like. If you've heard of or used Microsoft Excel before, it's very similar. It looks similar. It's used similarly. It's just a spreadsheet application. You see the cells are the blank rectangular spaces here, divided into columns and rows for us to fill out and organize our spreadsheet. So organizing the spreadsheet, a good way to do this for the job search is create a couple headings. Here they did the job title, the company title, salary, the company's website URL, and then as well as notes for any additional notes you might want to add to the jobs we find. And then just any jobs that you're interested in that we eventually find, you're going to come back to this Google Sheet and you're going to add them in under the appropriate categories, just to keep it organized and keep it easy to track. So this is what it's going to look like when we fill out that Google Sheet. Here's just a nice example. This person found 4 jobs they're interested in: UX designer, website manager, e-commerce specialist, and user interface designer. So a nice variety of roles. You can see they also added in the companies, the salaries, the URLs, some notes to go over pros and cons of each position, and then whether they applied and the interview status, just to kind of keep track of the whole process. This just makes it really easy for us to compare each of the roles. If you have specific criteria you're looking for, you can compare them, see which fit better. So let's say, for example, you're looking for a job that pays $55,000 per year. Well, only one of the 4 here would match that criteria, so it makes it easier for you to see that and just compare the positions to each other. So it's nice to keep track of and track them in the spreadsheet. So next, we're going to actually find opportunities with Google Search, just looking up jobs and seeing what's available on the job market for us. So Google Search is just this page right here. As I mentioned earlier, I'm sure most of us are familiar with it. And when you think of Google, this is probably the first thing you think of, just the search engine, or you have the search bar. You can type in any questions you have or whatever it may be, and it'll give you a bunch of results. In this example, obviously, we're talking about our job search. So jobs near me is going to be the search terms. And once we hit enter, look that up, it'll give us a listing of jobs. So you may be wondering, how does Google know what is near me? And the answer to that is your location data. They track your location. You can turn that off, but it is useful for them to have your location. Just for this example, this person lives in San Francisco, California. So when you look up jobs near me, it gives you a nice job listing of jobs in the area near San Francisco, California. But it's also good for other things, not just job search. It's good for if you're looking for a restaurant, a gym, or 2 examples. If you look up gyms near me, restaurants near me, it'll give you a nice list of places in your area, versus if you didn't have your location data enabled. You can look up that stuff and Google might give you results from a completely different state or somewhere halfway across the country that, it isn't much help. So this is the job listing that actually comes up. If we were to look up jobs near me, you can see 2 positions: retail sales representative and senior product manager. It gives us the job title there. It also gives us the location, both of which are in San Francisco, California. It gives us the company. This one you can see is for the Hershey company through Hershey Careers. And then this one's for Visa. And then tells you the posting date. So these jobs were posted by the companies 15 days ago for the first one. The second one, the senior product manager position, was posted 3 days ago. And then it tells you if it's full-time or part-time or a temporary job. Both of these are full-time, as you can see. So let's say that the specific jobs you're interested in or we're looking for didn't show up when you just searched up jobs near me. Now what? Well, we can go back to the search engine page and just be more specific with our search. Use terms and keywords that might be more specific, such as jobs that pay well here. Also some good examples in the drop down from Google. Jobs that pay well without a degree, if you may not have a college degree. Jobs that pay well with no experience. If this is you're looking for your first job, like an entry-level position, that's a good thing to look up. And so in this case, let's say that we found a job that interests us, this being the data analyst position for iHeartMedia in Nashville, Tennessee. Google creates a little snapshot of the job for you. And it's going to be a little description, so you know more about the position you are applying for. Company information. A lot of times the salary will be included. If not, you might have to go to the company page and go to the job listing on there. But a lot of the times Google will do a good job of kind of encompassing everything here for the job snapshot. It'll also give you the option to apply up in the top middle right here where you see the blue button, apply on LinkedIn. Sometimes there will be multiple of these buttons if the job is posted on multiple job boards. And if you click on those buttons, it will take you to that separate site. So if you clicked on this, it would take you to LinkedIn to apply through LinkedIn. Other times it might just be applying through the actual company's website. Another nice feature that Google gives us for searching for jobs is filters. If you see it in the white bar up top, plenty of filters: title, location, date posted. Then when you click on one, it even gets more specific. So let's say in this example, we were looking for, specifically driver jobs. You can click on truck driver, delivery driver, and then it will narrow down on the left side jobs that match close to those titles. And just from previous experience, Google is very good at giving you a list of jobs that do match what you're looking for, especially if you use those filters. Other job boards, a lot of times you'll look up a position, you'll do your filters, and they'll just spit out, hundreds or even thousands of jobs at you, many of which don't match at all what you're looking for. Google is pretty good at determining through your search and your filters what is a good match for you. So other filters you can use are location. As you can see in the top, it says 2 miles, 5 miles, and so on. That's just the distance radius from where you live. So in this example, it's no longer San Francisco, California, but instead Inman, South Carolina. So if you were to click on 30 miles, it would come up with jobs in a 30-mile radius from Inman, South Carolina. You could also click on the work from home filter that you see highlighted there all the way on the right. That's just jobs that are fully remote, fully virtual, and you can do just from your home, likely with a laptop or a computer. Obviously, in this day and age, that's good to have. A lot of people are starting to work from home more rather than commute to the office. It's also good if maybe you have young kids that you can't get to daycare some days of the week, and you have to be home to watch over them. You can click on that and look at jobs that are available to work from home fully remotely. Another filter is the no degree filter. If you don't happen to have a college degree, you can click on that and it'll give you jobs that don't require a college degree. It's another good filter to use. You can also just go back to the search bar and be even more specific with your search. If there's keywords that apply to you, like if you're a veteran, you can search up veteran jobs near me, and it'll come up with jobs that are open hiring veterans, prefer hiring veterans. And then from there, you can type in your MOS code, your military occupation code. And this is a really cool feature that Google has. If you put that in, it will give you a list of jobs that best fit the skills you used in your military position. So that is a nice feature that Google offers. Okay, let's say we find a job that we are interested in. This example is a customer service rep. Say we're interested in it, it fits our criteria. We put in our filters. It's an appropriate location, and we can't apply now, but we're interested in the job. We want to check back in on it. We can save this for later by pressing on the save button with the little blank empty bookmark icon next to it. If we click on that, it will keep it under the save tab that you can see under the search bar up top where it says jobs, saved, and alerts. If we save a job, it will file it under that save tab. Keep it there for a while so we don't have to go through the whole search process again to try to find it. And we can just go back to our saved jobs and maybe apply later or just check back in on it. Another good thing to do is to set alerts. This will allow you to receive email notifications to your Gmail or whatever other email you use. So they'll keep you updated, keep you in the loop on the job search, let you know if jobs have been taken down or if they're still available to apply to. It's always good to stay in the loop with your job search. So just to recap, using Google search to look for jobs, We just want to make the most out of it by trying lots of search terms and keywords, fiddling around with it. If you don't have a degree, you can do jobs near me that require no degree, veteran jobs near me. Just really mess around with it and try to get a list of jobs that best meet your criteria. From here, we're going to get that list of jobs, and then further try to narrow it down by using the filters we talked about. Job title, job location, the date posted, stuff like that, just to further narrow it down and find a good fit. And then once we do find those good fits, we'll want to save those jobs for later if we can't apply right now. Even if you do apply, it's good to save it for later to check back in on it. And then also set alerts to receive email notifications if you'd like to. Just stay up to date with what's going on in the job search. And then once we get those handful of jobs that we're interested in, we want to go back to that Google Sheet that we made earlier and enter those in. This is what it's going to look like when we do that. Make it easy to compare the jobs to each other. Check out those website URLs if we're missing some information on the jobs. Keep notes, and then keep track of which ones we've applied to. So make sure you're not double applying. Make sure you're not forgetting to apply to jobs, and then keep track of our interview status as well. So next, we're going to talk about creating a resume with Google Docs if you do not have one. Likely, most jobs are going to ask you to submit a resume. So it's a good thing to make one, and Google Docs offers us some templates to make those. So go to.
And just real quick, if anyone's looking in the chat, we have an example of some of the best practices for creating a resume. And certainly if you need help or if anything about this is confusing, you can always reach out to us individually and we'll be able to help you with this. But this is certainly great. So sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's a good shout by Benj. Check out that resource in the chat. It's a really good resource. Just to help you in your job search. It offers good input on resumes as well. So from here, we're going to be back at Google Drive, and similar to what we did last time, we're going to hit Create New. We're going to scroll down to Google Doc this time with the blue square icon next to it. And instead of creating a blank document, we're going to create a template. So Google offers a few resume templates to use just so, make it easier on yourself. You don't have to create a whole template, by yourself, create a whole resume from scratch. A little easier to just fill in your name, fill in your information, and they already have it organized. If there's nothing that matches what you're looking for in there, other softwares also have good resume templates. I know Microsoft Word is one. If you go to Microsoft Office, they have a lot of nice templates you can use. But for now, we're just going to stick with what Google has in this presentation. So here's one example of a Google resume template. You can see it's already formatted with sections for your skills, experience, and education further down on the document. So here's just an example. This person's name is Adhira Patel. So they put their name up there in that section. You see above, ask for your information, your address, email, telephone number, your contact information so jobs can get back to you. You'll want to fill in your skills, your experience, any previous jobs you may have had. And then at the bottom, you also can fill out education, awards, or whatever you see fit to make your resume the best it can be. So because it's a template, it's already pre-formatted for you. They already have font size, like specific colors. But if you want to change it, really easy, just highlight all the text. As you can see in this little example video, they're changing the font, making it more to what they see fit. So, you can customize it to however you want it to be. From here, we're going to want to make copies of our resume. Really easy. You're just going to go up to File in the top left. It'll give you a drop down and say make a copy of the document. You'll want to do that. This is good just to make copies of your resume. So when you apply to different jobs, you can, go into those resumes and tinker around with it, make small adjustments so they better fit the job that you're applying to. Each employer, each job is going to look for some small different things, different requirements, different preferences. So this way you can go into your resume and just make small changes to better fit the jobs that you're applying to. And then you're going to want to make copies of those resumes just so you have them saved. So in this example, it looks like she's applying for a retail job. So you can see she names the copy of the document, copy of Adhira Patel resume -retail. So just put that in the name as well so you can keep track of which resume you're using to apply for each job. Then we can share our resume to get feedback. So you see, click in that top right corner with the big blue share button. Type in the email address you want to share to, whether it's a friend, family member, former coworker, whoever you want to look over your resume. It's always good to have another set of eyes to look over things, give you some feedback. So you can set the amount of access they have by going to the right where it says commenter there. There are 3 different settings: viewer, commenter, or editor. So you can decide if they can just view the document, if they can, write comments on it, or if they have full editing access to edit your resume. So they just set this one on commenter. And to site, put a little message in there and send it, and they'll share it with the email that you added so they can look over your resume, give you some feedback. Next, we're going to want to download our resume as a PDF document. We're going to go back to that File tab up there and then go down to Download it as a PDF. This is good just to have, it's easier to share things oftentimes as a PDF rather than a Google Doc. So we'll download it as a PDF. It should still look the same, just like you formatted it. Nothing will change except the file type. From here, if we want to share our resume through email, we'll go to Gmail or whatever email service you use, compose an email, add the email that you want to send it to, add the subject. Here they just did my resume, typed a little message, and then to attach it, we're going to go down to the bottom, the little highlighted paperclip icon down there. A little paperclip inside the piece of paper. Click on that. It'll open up all the files on all the recent files on your laptop or computer, and you can just click on the PDF that we downloaded, and it will attach it to the email. This is also good because a lot of times, instead of through an actual job board or through a portal, sometimes employers will have you apply by just emailing your resume and any other materials to them directly. So it's good to have it as a PDF, attach it into the email. So then just read through, make sure no spelling mistakes, everything's okay. Make sure your resume PDF is attached, and then you can go ahead and send it. And then after that, we want to go back to our spreadsheet and add the resume that we sent to each job into that job, just so we know which resume we applied with, if we want to go back and look at it. Because again, each resume may be a little different depending on which job we applied to, if you're tailoring them to best match that job. So it's just good to stay organized, keep the resume links into the put the resume links into the spreadsheet and keep them organized with which jobs. All right, and then we're going to move over to Google Meet to prepare for a possible interview with the employers. So if you haven't heard of Google Meet, it's just the video conferencing tool for Google. If you've heard of Microsoft Teams or Zoom, it's very similar, just Google's version of a video conferencing application. Nowadays in the digital age, a lot of meetings, interviews, and whatnot are conducted virtually. So it's good to get accustomed to Google Meet, or really any video conferencing application. With that being said, we can go over some remote interview best practices. When in a virtual interview, you want to look toward the camera. You don't want to be looking all around the place. That could give off the impression that you're really not paying attention to the person you're talking to. We want to speak slowly and clearly. Pay attention to the lighting. Make sure the lighting in your room or wherever you were conducting the interview is good, and you're visible to the other person. Choose a neutral background. Make sure nothing too distracting or crazy is going on in the background of your call. There are options to blur out your background, or kind of provide a little office space in the background, like a green screen kind of thing. So you can choose to do those. Dress professionally if you can. Obviously, most of the times you're only gonna be able to see shirt up, but it's nice if you can throw on a dress shirt or polo or blouse or whatever it may be to make sure you look nice and professional for your interview. And then, as you would do with anything, practice. Just you can hop on with a friend, family member, whoever it may be, get on Google Meet and practice your interview. Just practice getting comfortable with the virtual setting. So to recap, these are the 4 Google tools we use to help us in our job search. The first one we talked about was Google Sheets. It's the big spreadsheet we're using to organize our search and keep track of all our data, compare the jobs we're interested in. Next is actual Google Search, the search engine, where we can look up jobs and help us find opportunities in the area. Then we have Google Docs, where we created our resume. They offer templates for us to use, make it easier for us to create the resume and fill it out so it can best represent our experiences. And then lastly, what we just talked about was Google Meet, video conferencing tool offered by Google, where your interview may be conducted on. So what do we do next? Your next steps should be kind of going over and getting familiar with everything we talked about. Go into Google Sheets, create that job search tracker we talked about, fill out a spreadsheet, and just keep track of those jobs that you're interested in. And then just searching up jobs on Google search. You can play around with those filters, use keywords on your search, try to get a good list that matches your criteria and jobs that you would be a good fit for given your experience. From there, save your favorites like we talked about, save them so you don't have to go back in and search through everything to find them. It'll keep it on tabs. You can go back, check those jobs out, and then apply for them later if you can't do it in the immediate moment. And then if you want to get email notifications, turn those email alerts on in Google Jobs so you can stay up to date with the job search. Check out Google Docs and the resume templates that we talked about. Pick one that best suits your style, best suits the jobs you're applying for, and then make copies and make sure you're properly editing your resume so they best fit the jobs you're applying to. And then practice your interview skills over Google Meet. Get on with a friend, practice your interview skills, get accustomed to that virtual setting. Once you get accustomed to Google Meet, you'll also be more used to other video conferencing applications, whether it's Microsoft Teams, whether it's Zoom, or whatever else the interview or future meetings may be conducted on. And then from there, you can consider some of Google's other professional workshops to try to grow your career. They have a lot of resources they offer, which is what we will get into next. So one resource is the Grow with Google and Google Career Certificates YouTube. They have plenty of videos, expert tips to help you grow your skills and career development. So you can check them out on YouTube, hopefully pick up some things in different fields and just applying to jobs and furthering your career. Speaking of Google Career Certificates, it's a great program that Google's putting out where they offer certificates through completing a course in a bunch of in-demand jobs in high-growth fields. These include data analytics, business intelligence, digital marketing and e-commerce, IT support, Python coding, which is obviously getting huge now, UX design, project management, and cybersecurity. So a real, good catalog of jobs in the technology field. So check that out. If you want to go to the Tech2Elevate website, actually, you can apply for the Google Career Certificate Scholarship Program that we are launching and check us out. They also just have a lot of free online training and tools at google.com/grow. Whether you're a teacher, student, local business, entrepreneur, job seeker, like some of you may be who are checking out this webinar, or developer, you can learn a ton of stuff from their online training and tools and just really develop your career. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you all for joining us, and good luck to anyone who may be on that job search.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Tim. That was a great presentation. I hope you all learned a lot. And if, again, you guys want to go back through any of this, I know there's certainly a lot. We'll put this up on our YouTube channel. That's just Tech2Elevate with the number 2 again. Really all of this, right, are recorded webinars. If you want to join our Google program, right, getting a Google Career Certificate, again, that can all be found on our website, www.tech2elevate.org, again, with the number 2. And we'd definitely be happy to cover any of this with you right in those webinars recording, but also face-to-face in person. We know that there's a lot getting thrown at you between Google Sheets and Docs and Google Meet. So if there's any one of those that you really want to dive into, feel free to contact us on social media, on our website. You can find our emails. I'll put those in the chat. Tim@tech2elevate.org, right? Benjamin@tech2elevate.org. We'd really be happy to get in contact with you. In person, we're up in Erie at the Blasco Memorial Library Wednesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 6 p.m., right? If you can reserve a time, that's great. But if not, feel free to just walk in, right? Call the library if you're not sure. We'd be happy to help you. We serve, right, with Tim down in Beaver County, and we serve virtually. So we have a lot of different locations, and, just reach out to us and we'd be happy to work with you.